Come on.
My dog Chips hates the rain. Every time it's pouring down, he stops at the entrance of the building and refuses to go outside. It doesn't matter how long he's been in the house or how much he needs to pee.
Come on. Come on. Come on, Chips.
It's been like that since he was born. If only I had a way to cover him from the rain, maybe he would be willing to go outside. Do you see where I'm going with this? I'm going to try and mount this on Chips' back. This could be a massive failure. If I had to guess beforehand, I'd say that he's not going to be willing to have this on his back. I'm kind of imagining like I'm trying to book it off like some crazy stallion. We are talking about an 11-year-old, 2-kilogram Yorkshire Terrier. Chips. Whoa. Come here a sec. Chips. 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 The design has a few constraints. It needs to stay super light. It needs to be as comfortable as possible, and it needs to sit firmly on his back. Another constraint is the leash that's always connected to his collar. It obviously needs to stay connected while he's walking around with the umbrella. This umbrella will easily cover 95 to 100% of his body. So I need to position it exactly on top of him to be balanced around his center of mass.
So this is a contour gauge. Basically what it does, it enables you to determine the contour of anything. And it's very handy when you want to 3D print a surface or something to connect to a surface that's not straight or round, something that you can determine by measuring the diameter or the radius or the length of something. Chips, come here a sec. Chips, come on, come on. There's Chips. So if we want to design a saddle for Chips, then I'm going to use this contour gauge, and what we can do is just go like this. Wait, sorry Chips, just try and let me do this. Okay, here we go. Then after you determine the contour, you just lock the tool, and then you have the shape of Chips' back. Take a picture of that. Once we've done that, we can do the front part. Chips, you ready? Wait, just stand up a sec. Make sure it's in between. Okay, there you go. And that's the front part.
The first design was a joke. Too flimsy, too thin. And I only realized it after I 3D printed it and put it on his back. On the second design attempt, I focused more on how the saddle will connect to the umbrella. I took advantage of the two pieces of steel that run along each one of the umbrella ribs. I still needed to redesign it a few more times. It's always so surprising how many times you need to design and 3D print, redesign, 3D print, redesign again until you get it right. In order to connect the two pieces of the saddle to each other, I designed a bridge that I mounted onto Chips' back using an old collar of his that I had.
So the final design consists of two separate mounts that will sit on top of Chips. The top arch is meant to give a bit more stability when it sits on the actual umbrella top. You can see that the front and the back are not exactly the same size. That's due to the structure of Chips, where he's a bit wider at the top just before his front shoulders, and it becomes narrower as we go closer to the tail end.
At this point, I glued everything together, only to realize that once they are connected to each other, it's impossible to connect the pieces to the umbrella. This in turn forced me to take apart everything I've just glued and re-glue it again.
That's great. Thank you, Chips. I'll see you soon.
The last step was to glue the saddle to the umbrella, and we were ready for testing.
Now we just need to wait for a rainy day.